Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's been a bit of time since we've last seen each other. There's been quite a lot of stuff that's happened, and in the meantime I was preparing for more exams. One of the resources that I took for preparing for exams was this book, the AWS Certified Machine Learning Certification Guide from Packt Publishing. As a preparation tool for ML, if you have no ML experience, this is a pretty hefty book that's got a lot of information on ML. Yeah, it's really good at telling you which ML services you can use on Amazon, right? There's a big chapter on Amazon ML services. Covers Lex and Poly and Comprehend and recognition, etc. So it's pretty hefty. Then we have data preparation and transformation. So data prep, data transformation, working with data. It's really essentially quite a bit of the book is talking about data, right? So this portion of the book talks about data. It does cover lots of services that you wouldn't really expect on the exam itself, like for example Snowball and Snowmobile and data sync and such services. The exam is mostly looking for you to understand how to store data efficiently, and for ML purposes that's always S3. However, it's not bad to know those questions. You do have really nice test questions at the end of each chapter, so that's something to talk about. Services for data pre-processing, for data processing is good. So it covers, lots of services that help you in your analytics. Things like how to use Athena and Glue and stuff like that. And then a big section is data modeling, right? Data modeling is a big section. In here, you have information about all kinds of different approaches to data modeling. You have different algorithms, right? So you got algorithms listed here, right? And for the algorithms, you've got information about what algorithms are applicable to supervised learning, what algorithms are applicable to unsupervised learning. You got a little bit of math in there. You got little bit of, what predictions you should expect, what your actual measurements would be. So, for example, getting precision and accuracy, and your area under the curve, and mean square error and R squared, etc. All of those are explained. You got different forecasting models. It goes a little bit into also things like how to prepare your data correctly for these models. What kind of and then for each algorithm, you've got, like, for example, blazing text. What is good for? What does it know how to do? Right. However, it's not fully comprehensive. What I'm missing here is like actual use cases for these algorithms, right? It does give you enough information to pass the exam, but I would really like to see like use cases. Where is this really applicable? What is a use case? Like, for example, there's a mobile provider. They want to do churn prediction. They want to predict how many of their users are going to leave the company and are going to join somewhere else, and how do we retain them, right? You've got things like sentiment analysis. How do we do sentiment analysis with blazing text, for example? How do we understand whether Twitter feeds about our company are positive or negative? Things like fraud detection, things like understanding your statistical data sets and then predicting based on those statistical data sets, like, for example, market predictions and predictions in shopping companies that need to have some stock. They need to predict how much they're gonna sell in the next quarter, and how to filter and focus in on the right type of data. I didn't find that in the book, right? I didn't find any real world models. Evaluating models, really good. Goes into a bit about how to find the metrics. It gives you your confusion matrix and explains it really nicely. It gives you information about accuracy, precision, and recall. All technically very correct, so nothing wrong about that. And then SageMaker is literally 10 pages. This is SageMaker. Like, it's 10 pages in SageMaker. I would say it's not deep enough on SageMaker. SageMaker has way more than what we have here. And then it talks about Lambda functions at the end and processing with Lambda functions. So I wish that there was more on SageMaker, more on just a few demos, how to create things in SageMaker, how to run some code in SageMaker. Otherwise, a pretty hefty book, as you can see. It does get a little bit wordsy, but that's what the publisher, Packt, that's what the publisher demands from its authors. I've written 2 books for them, and they just want you to be wordsy. They want a good page count, which that's why I stopped working with them. Because honestly, I don't think the page count is important. I think what is important is that the book is really good. So, yeah, the content needs to be straightforward. And if you look at some of the comments for Packt books online, you'll see that they're technically correct, but they can be wordsy, right? So would I recommend this as a tool for machine learning? If you're new to machine learning and if you've been working with AWS for at least about 2 years, so you have plenty of experience with AWS, this is a pretty good book to get into machine learning, right? It's not a very good book for SageMaker and SageMaker specific features, like for example, real world applying the algorithms to real world scenarios. And I think that SageMaker has now got so many features that it's kind of scantily covered in this book. Now, this book was released. When was it released? See, that's one important factor I didn't consider is, it's published March 2021. So there's no excuse. There should be more stuff on SageMaker. There should be more coverage on new features of SageMaker, like SageMaker Neo, etc. Integration with IoT. There's no integration with IoT. You will be asked about services like Greengrass on the exam, and there will be questions on integration with IoT. There is 0 coverage on IoT here. So I'm going to give it 4 stars. It's good, but it's not comprehensive in a manner where it really covers everything, right? And of course, it could be a little bit less wordsy. I hope that the authors are not going to get upset about this. Every book that you write is your own, baby. There's a lot of effort putting into this. I can tell you that this is a 6-month project when you start writing a book like this, right? They have 2 authors, so clearly these 2 authors were splitting the work. But yeah, it's quite a big project, and I do understand them. I've authored 3 books myself. I've cooperated on another one. I've technically edited a few books. I have one that I'm cooperating again on with one publisher. So, I know this process and I know it's difficult to do it, but there's components missing for the exam itself. And for you to get certified, I think you need a resource that will give you some real world examples. I mean, the documentation does have some information. And of course, more information on SageMaker. I would say if you're using this book, then do a lot of work on SageMaker yourself. Like, try to look at the SageMaker examples. I'll put a link into the AWS SageMaker example notebooks in this thing. And I will also put a link to this book. So yeah, 4 stars. Good job. Not perfect, but good job. Definitely lots of valuable information for somebody who is a beginner in machine learning. It goes and explains machine learning and the concepts really well into a lot of details, and it's technically correct, right? So as far as the technical aspect of it, I have not one comment here. It's completely correct. I agree with everything that's written in this book. And that's pretty much it. All right. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.